Okay, we're talking about the Passover this year. It's a very important Passover. We're going to go through all the information that goes into this prophetic year and the Cyrus decree and the information we found to dictate to us the course timing of the Passover and what it means prophetically as it relates to the second Exodus, as it relates to Daniel. And I encourage you to bear with this whole message because there's a lot of scriptures, a lot of content we're going to go through. And we're going to go through all of it coming together to paint a picture of what the Exodus Passover for this year means. Now, what we can find out is that in the Exodus, there were certain years of the Exodus. In a general sense, what we've determined is that you had 1 year where the children of Israel left Egypt. They passed through the Red Sea. They were there for a year. They built the tabernacle, and then they began the wanderings. They wandered, that was 2 years. Then they wandered 38 years in the desert. They come back at year 40 to enter the promised land. What we've determined is that the Exodus has year 1, 2, and now what we're doing is we're entering into this next year where instead of it being 38 years, it's year 40. So we're entering this year, this 40th year of the Exodus, which is also the third year. So in the Exodus, you have year 1, 2, 40. And the Cyrus decree, we have year 1, 2, 3. So we first find the confirmation on this in the book of Ezra. The book of Ezra, the children of Israel are gone into Babylonian captivity, and then they're returning to the land. And when they do, they keep the Passover in a similar fashion and similar information that what we see in the Exodus. So let's go through Ezra. Ezra chapter 3, verse 8. Now, in the second year of their coming into the house of God at Jerusalem. Okay, so we got the second year. This is likened unto the second year of the Exodus. And the second month. So what that means is the second month, if you were not ready for Passover in the first month, you would keep the Passover in the second month. So we're in their second year, second month. So this is also Passover. Then began Zerubbabel the son of Shealtiel and Yeshua, or Joshua, and the remnant of the brethren, the priests and the Levites, and they were come out of the captivity to go into Jerusalem. Okay, so this is again the prophetic story of returning to Jerusalem. It's not necessary that you come to Jerusalem, but that's why we're here, because the prophetic story of this Exodus is taking place. That is that is the book of Ezra, chapter 3. Then Ezra, chapter 4, it says clearly, the second year of the reign of Darius, the king of Persia. So this also prophetically, Darius and Cyrus are one. Okay, so when it's talking about these years do correspond one to another. So we have the second year of Darius confirming this Exodus, this confirming this year. Then when we get to Ezra chapter 6, verse 13, it says, according to the commandment of Cyrus and Darius. So there we clearly see that Cyrus and Darius, their commandment to build and restore Jerusalem is one and the same. And ours is Xerxes, the king of Persia. The Cyrus decree, as we know, is the 24th day of the 9th month per Haggai. It's Hanukkah. It's the dedication. Okay. And the 24th day of the 9th month, and this was the house finished in the 3rd day of the 12th month. So then what we found out is that from the 24th day of the 9th month in the first year of the Exodus, it brings us to this precise date, the 3rd day of the 12th month. Okay. That is 62 weeks that we know according to Daniel. There'll be 62 weeks, and then there'll be 7 weeks. Then from that date, you add 7 weeks, and we come to Passover. All right? And then we come. Now, those instances were in the Ezra chapter 6. Then what it says is the 3rd year. And the children of Israel kept the Passover. Now, once they keep the Passover's in the first month, you enter another year. So they kept the Passover unto the 14th day of the first month. So now we're entering the third year. For the priests and the Levites were purified together, and all of them that were pure. In the Passover for the children of captivity and their brethren the priests were for themselves. Okay, now, so what they did is then they're instituting the Passover. They're keeping the Passover. Now, it's important for us to understand in this Passover, guys, I strongly, strongly urge you to heed the command I'm about to give you. Okay, we're entering this Messianic era. We're entering this time of the restoration of us in this exodus of globally, all believers, okay, are in this exodus. It doesn't matter where you are in the earth, okay? But what it is as we enter this era, guys, we do not kill the lamb. So I encourage you this year, do not slay a lamb and eat lamb on Passover. Okay, we're going to go into the reasons why. But the first reason why, it's very, very important for us to understand, is in the book of Ezekiel, when the temple is being ordered and instituted, it says in Ezekiel 45:21, in the first month, in the 14th day of the month, you shall keep the Passover. Okay, so you keep the Passover, but it doesn't say you kill the Passover. A feast 7 days, unleavened bread shall be eaten. So what I encourage you to do this year, guys, is eat unleavened bread. Okay, don't actually eat lamb. And let's look at why. Ezra 9:8. This is talking about this remnant. To leave us a remnant to escape. Okay? And we're getting this command to prepare for the king. The king is coming. Okay? And that's what they're doing. They're keeping these feasts as preparation for the king. And you do not slay the lamb again. He's already been slain. We see them in Revelation chapter 5. In Revelation chapter 5, the lamb is already slain. So now as we enter this era, let's eat the unleavened bread. And the unleavened bread, guys, is no yeast. We have to get rid of the leaven of the harlot. The harlot takes the leaven and puts it in the meal and puffs it up. The Lord said, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees, the Sadducees, and Herod. So what is this? This is the harlot and the beast. So that's what you got to do, guys, coming into this feast. You got to clean your house. It's always said you clean your house of all the leaven. And a lot of you do not take this stuff serious. And that's why you're not ready and you're not prepared. Okay? But we don't actually slay the lamb. Now, we learned that this year, Daniel keeps this Passover in a similar fashion in Daniel chapter 10. Daniel chapter 10, it says, in the third year of Cyrus, king of Persia. So remember, this Passover, we're entering this is this third year. Okay? And that's what Daniel is talking about. He's in this third year of the king. Then it was revealed to Daniel, all these things, whose name was called Belshazzar, and the thing was true. But the time appointed was long. Okay, so Daniel saw in Daniel 70 how long it was. Okay, it was 70 years of Cyrus' decree. But now it's going into the third year of Cyrus. Okay, so it's taking long. And he understood the thing and he understood the vision. In those days, I, Daniel, was mourning 3 weeks. Okay, so he's mourning 3 weeks. Let's pay close attention to what he does. It says, I ate no pleasant bread. Okay, that means no leaven. Okay, there's no leaven in the bread. It's not sweet, pleasant bread. And this is, what we have to do. We have to get the leaven out. This is Jezebel. Jezebel gives you food, sacrifice to idols. Balaam gives you food, sacrifice to idols. You got to clean the leaven out coming into this. So Daniel is identifying this time in this third year, and the prophecy is taking long. Okay, so he's preparing himself. 3 weeks I eat no pleasant bread, and neither came flesh to my mouth. So he's in the first month. Okay, he's not eating the lamb. You see that? He's not eating flesh. He's not eating bread with lemon in it. Okay? And if you notice, the false Ishtar, Easter, everything is about sweets and bright colors and all. Wow, that's what Daniel identified was this false system, the harlot system. Okay? But he didn't eat any flesh, okay, during these 3 weeks. Nor was there any wine. He did not have wine. And that's the other thing, is the harlot has wine. She's drunk on the wine, okay? And the people that are drinking from her cup are also drunk. Neither did I anoint myself till 3 weeks were fulfilled, and in the 24th day of the first month. So what do we have? We have the 24th day. This is after 3 weeks. So it appears that he would have started this fast on the 3rd day of the first month, and then we add 21 days, 3 full weeks. We come to the 24th day. Okay, so this is including the entire Passover time. All right, now he's saying he didn't eat flesh, so we don't eat the lamb. Okay. You know, I know myself till 3 weeks were filled, the 24th day of the first month. As I was by the side of the great river, which is Hedekiel. And the only other time Hedekiel is mentioned is in the Garden of Eden. I'll let you figure that out. Okay, so what do we have? We have this Passover. Daniel is keeping this feast. He's not eating the lamb. As we enter the temple time period, we don't eat the lamb. It's about eating unleavened bread, getting the leaven out of your house. I can't warn you enough about that, guys. Okay, 1 Corinthians, let's go then into Apostle Paul describing Passover. Chapter 5, verse 7, purge out the old leaven, that you may be a new lump as you were unleavened. For even Christ, our Passover, is sacrificed for us. Okay, so again, let's remember that it was Christ that was sacrificed for us for the redemption of our sins. And let's get the leaven out. Okay, and in Mark 8, verse 15, and he charged them, saying, take heed, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the leaven of Herod. Then 1 Corinthians 5:5, to deliver one up to Satan for destruction of the flesh, that the spirit may be saved in the day of the Lord. So what's going to happen is judgments are going to just come now, because God is just, the time is short. Okay, there's no more time to be doing all kinds of evil and wicked things. So many people are going to be turned over to Satan for the destruction. Now the word destruction here in the Greek is the same word that's used in the account of Passover in Hebrews. In Hebrews it says, through faith he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of blood, lest they be destroyed. Okay, so this word destroyed is the same word that we see in 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 5. Okay, that's what we got to do. We got to keep the Passover. Now let's look at some other verses in the book of Acts, because I saw that it pleased, now this is Herod. Herod saw that it pleased the Jews to take Peter in the days of unleavened bread. And they apprehended him and took him in prison and delivered him to 4 soldiers. All right, and this is Pesach. This is the time of Passover. So that's what's going to happen. There's going to be a lot. It's a time of great persecution and difficulty. Okay, so that's what this is. This is a unique Passover. It's not a regular Passover. It's a Passover of the 3rd year of Cyrus. Okay, when Daniel had no pleasant bread, and we don't eat the flesh of the lamb. Okay, so go on to put out this message. This is a sobering time. So like I say, guys, I can't tell you enough to take the things I'm telling you serious. Get rid of the leaven. There's lots of you with false religious spirits and stuff influencing you. You got to get that stuff out. Okay, get it out. This is when the Lamb is going to show forth himself mightily. All right, but the judgment begins in the house of the Lord. So thanks for watching. What I will do is include this video in a series of playlists. It'll be part of the Exodus. Okay, it'll be part of the King's decree. All right, so there's a lot of other content that's gone into the information of determining these years, which I encourage you to watch as we put those links in. So thank you, and God bless you. The actual Passover date, for those that haven't downloaded the Enoch calendar yet, that's going to be April 2nd, I believe. I apologize. I believe it's April 2nd. So that's the Passover. So I'm trying to get this out in time for you to get the leaven out. All right. So thank you for watching. God bless you. And watch and pray that you be counted worthy to escape all these things. In Jesus Christos' name, amen.